Because you see, the people of Ghana deserve better. Our people deserve better. They need better. Dr. Bawumia, as the head of the economic team, should be telling the people of, look, what people of Ghana are going through right now is bread and butter. Okay? And the fact that Dr. Bawumia finds a need to go on the tangent that he is going to, desperately trying to clean up his name alone is depressing enough. Then, as if that is not enough, then you go on there making statements and lying. For example, let me get into just one of the details. Dr. Bawumia said to the people of Ghana that today, if you want a passport, you can just go online, fill a form, and the passport can be even delivered to you by courier service using the GPS, and I'm quoting him, using the digital address system that you used. So now it is a complete lie.
That I know for a fact is not true.
Oh, I know for a fact it is not true, because even as we speak today in America, the Ghana embassy in the United States of America, no matter where you are, even if you are in Seattle, Washington, 5 hours flight to New York, 48 hours drive to New York and DC. So now you cannot even renew. I'm not talking about applying for new passport. You cannot even renew your passport online. Under the NDC manual system, I, Kingsley Elikem Komla Mortey, I renewed my passport just sitting in my state in North Carolina. I renewed my passport. I'm saying that I'm emphatically. I said I renewed my passport under the manual NDC system. Today, as you and I speak today, you cannot even renew your passport online. I know that for a fact because just last month, a very good friend of mine, who is an NDP person, by the way, a very close cousin of Oswawusu, has made an attempt to renew her passport. So she has to actually drive there as we speak. 6 weeks after she has been there to fill the forms and everything for them, she still cannot get a passport. She pick a phone and call. I can mention one name. One of the guys speaking there, Joe. Joe sits there. I don't even know the guy by name. I have his phone number. Joe sits there and has no decency to even do his work. And that is the torment they are taking people through. And then you sit on radio and say that somebody, even in America, you can't even get your passport. Then you are saying that somebody in Bunkurubuyoyo, somebody in Hokwe, somebody in the villages and towns can get their passport in Ghana. It's a lie. It is a complete lie. Dr. Bawumia knows that. Today, Dr. Bawumia is telling us that against the Bank of Ghana policy of KYC, know your customer, Dr. Bawumia said that you can open a bank account just sitting in the house. Hey, like why will people do this to Dr. Bawumia? Huh? Like you said that a passport like Ghana card will be activated to be used as a passport, and therefore Ghanaians can travel with Ghana card. It's a lie, Senna. Because common sense should tell Dr. Bawumia that the reason why passport is a booklet is for us to keep track of where you are going to. So when you're flying out of the United States of America, you need a passport that they can stamp into. It doesn't matter whether you're a Ghanaian or you're a foreigner. You need a passport that the American government will give a stamp. Now the card, where are they going to stamp? To show that you are leaving the country. It is a lie. Yes, you can show your ID as a Ghanaian, but the same applies to the passport. But there is no way you can go outside the country, Ghana, and use your ID card to go through any international passport in this world today. Even America, UK, Holland, Netherlands, there is no country that can say that my citizens can go to another country and use just an ID card. Within the United States, I can use ID card to fly. I can use my driving license to fly within the USA. But when I get out of the USA, you need your passport. That is what its duty is. Common sense. When you get to the Ghana port, you need to give your Ghana passport to the immigration service for them to look inside and stamp it. Dr. Bawumia should have known that. He should know that. Even if I come into Ghana and I just pull my Ghana card for them, even after the activation and everything, if I pull my Ghana card for them, will the immigration accept it? They will not. Mind you, Senator, the same guy, this same Dr. Bawumia told the people of Ghana that By 2018, every Ghanaian will have a bank account. Are we close? Do half of Ghana people even have a bank account? We can go on and go on and go on. And again, you mentioned the thing about the Ghana Post GPS. Dr. Bawumia stood there at Ashasi University and said that, oh, we have now carried our data and everything to Google to go and enter for us. He said, is it not the same thing that we said years ago when Dr. Bawumia was running around that we have leapfrog? Is it not the same thing that we said? That the only way you can survive with this is by going to pay Google for Google to do this same mapping for you, which they have done already. So now to legitimize the wrong they have done, they have taken their nonsense to Google and said, please just find a way. Just put it there for us so that people can just click it and make use of it. The same thing we have begged Dr. Bawumia to understand and listen to, and he refused to listen. Now,
yeah, and so on that score, you're saying that because it makes it sound like it's quite a feat for Google to accept it, to integrate it into their system. You're saying that was where it was going from the very beginning?
I was saying that one, Google has made it available for us for free, but when, like I said, recommended that in my press conference, but if you absolutely want yours done for you the way you want it, like Ghana has done, then of course you have to go back to Google for them to put it on their map for you. That was the only way. That was the only way. It's like me, if I get up and I say, look, I want to start up a university for my children to go to. The only way that university will be recognized is by going to accreditation board. So until Ghana does that, it will still be useless because when you click your things, when you put in your Ghana Post GPS address system, which is a bad idea to start with. When you hit it, it has to take you to a back end map that you have to drive on, and that back end there is Google behind there. So why will you want to use a third-party app to come and be feeding into Google? So the most sensible thing to do is to give it to Google, let the Google put it on for you, then you are using Google directly. And that is why they are now going to do the same thing, which we told them long ago, that this way they were going was a bad idea. And clearly it is a bad idea. Dr. Bawumia, Jesus Christ. Dr. Bawumia stood there and spoke about QR code. QR code that has been used since 1994. Dr. Bawumia stands there and said, it's ingenious, it's the best thing that have happened to the people of Ghana. Nobody have seen this before. They have leapfrogged. We are far ahead of the world. Really, QR code payment system since 1994. Dr. Bawumia talked about interoperability and
mobile money interoperability,
and makes so much noise about it. Sena, many countries have used this, even though again it is not an achievement, by the way. In the US, for example, on my phone I have Cash App, I have Venmo, I have Zelle, I have PayPal. I have several ways that I can use to transact business over my phone. Again, Dr. Bawumia is so ignorant. He said that even the U.S. Treasury have written to the Fed that they should allow them to do direct same-day payment. Dr. Bawumia clearly does not know what he's talking about. Today, if I want to send money from my Cash App to when I receive money on my Cash App, and I want to send it directly to my account today, I'll have to pay a fee, which is what is happening in Ghana. You have to pay a fee. Then it will hit your account immediately. No. But if you want it to be free, I can send it and it will go the following day or the second day. Then that will be free. That is what is happening right now. But again, because he doesn't know, they just tell him, go and say this, and he runs to the pulpit, he runs to the podium and wants to speak without absolutely no idea. Again, so now I want to know. I am very interested. I want to know how many Ghanaians. I want to see how, from what Dr. Bawumia said, that just with your ID card, you can sit in your office, sit in your house, and open a bank account. I want to see how many Ghanaians can do that. And your account will be functional. You will get your ATM card in the house, your checkbook in the house. I want to see that happen. It is impossible. It is impossible. Dr. Bawumia needed to have known that. And then again, he made the same mistake that he made in the past, that they have given address to every square inch of Ghana. It is not true, Dr. Bawumia. It is absolutely false. Absolutely false. The document, the thing that you guys claim you have done was 25 by 25. It was not every square inch. And do you understand what he's saying about every square inch, Dr. Bawumia? If you say every square inch, you are talking about for every land, for every one piece of land, you are having about 360 addresses. So no, it is not every square inch. About 3,600 addresses, man. You know, we cannot have a vice president that goes on national television and make ignorant statements like this. Our vice president should be sitting in office and working. He is the head of the National Economic Management team. He claimed that he knew economics. That is why the people of Ghana allowed him to be where he is. I have read almost everything Dr. Bawumia have put out, even his PhD dissertation on Jesus Christ. I have read his PhD thesis. I have read everything that he has put out. And he has not, for me, he has not really impressed. He has not really lived up to anything. And so, again, it's just unfortunate. He had a quote and said that the world, he said he was quoting someone, I've forgotten the person he was saying. He said the world's most valuable resources is not oil, but data. Senator, the understanding of data, Dr. Bawumia missed it completely. To be clear, I understand data very, very well. I'm a statistician by profession, so I know what data is. You see, when they are talking about data, Ghana, we don't even collect data, let alone use data. What we do in Ghana is a joke. I have analyzed the data here before, where 2 days data from Verizon was about 6 million data points. And then you code in SAS and make sense out of the data. People going to Kolebu, people going to G, you need to know, like, per the second, how many people have come in there, their age, how many people have gone out. That data that you collect, that you make serious sense out of. For example, Unilever, Nestle, collecting real day data and asking people who do optimization and asking them that, hey, if we invest $2 million into advertisement, how much money are we going to make at the back end? When you have serious people, serious minds, we don't even have data on the number of people that are in Ghana. We don't even have data on basic stuff. How many marriages are going on in Ghana every day? How many things are being sold in Ghana every day? How many tomatoes is being sold? We don't know. The data Dr. Bawumia is talking about is he mixed it completely. He's talking about digitalization and said, I don't know whether he understands what is digitalization. First of all, the world is growing, Dr. Bawumia. The world is growing. We used to use 3310s, and it was not because of John Mahama, Jerry Rawlings, Kufuor, Nanado, or you that we are using Galaxy notes now. It is not you. The world has moved. Again, we used to use shift stick and cars to drive. Today we have manual. Today we even have cars that you can sit in and there is no driver. The world is moving on its own. Many of the things Dr. Bawumia mentioned are natural things that are happening in the world already. These are things that are happening. We've seen airports where there is no human being there at all. You just check in and then go. And you drive and then you just park your car and then use your credit card and just pay and go. Ghana, we are nowhere near digitization. We are nowhere near data collection. Nothing. And the system, and I don't expect Ghana to be there, because see, what we are dealing with as a country now is bread and butter. What our country is dealing with is bread and butter. The fact that your neighbor has gone to buy a Tesla or your neighbor has gone to buy a Mercedes does not mean that for a person of you who have 2-3 children in university and high school, whose children are now coming up, you should also just go and buy some of those things automatically because your neighbor has done it. No, we need to assess where we are as a country and see what do we need. This is Ghana that you go to bank today in Accra, that they would still tell you, say, internet na teko, and you have to, you still go to your bank, go and sit down. You still go to the bank and there is couch. in them. Every bank in Ghana, there are couches for you to sit down. Again, that alone tells you that we are nowhere near the time that we should be talking about digital. We are in a country where a police officer cannot just run your number and be able to know that this car belongs to so and so address, who have committed this crime, so and so were here. You are nowhere near. John Dramani Mahama, thanks to him, has built a national data center already. We need to build a solid fiber optic backbone that we will have absolutely very strong internet, where our children, even in Accra, cannot even sit on the internet and be able to study. You cannot even get our students, you cannot even teach over Zoom without buffering properly, even in Accra. And I'm using Accra because that is where everything has to be the best. Because when you are in Ghana, Accra, your internet works a little better. Once you begin to drive further away from Accra, your internet sucks. Why, Dr. Bawumia, the internet is still breaking down. We are in a country where our lights are still going off. Doomso is still prevalent in Ghana today. We are in a country where even gas stations, petrol stations, you still have to buy with cash or other forms of payment. You cannot even use a card. And then you sit down, you're talking about digitization. Again, Dr. Bawumia said that they digitized the Ghana port in 2017. That alone should tell Dr. Bawumia that there was work in progress. That alone should tell you there was work in progress. And there is so many things Dr. Bawumia mentioned that, again, if on hindsight, with a little bit of education on his part, he wouldn't have gone down those tangents. And I felt very horrible that my vice president will be able to sit there, will be able to stand there in the presence of no less a person than Patrick Ewa, one person who, with many other Ghanaians who have worked with Microsoft for a very long time, seen growth and come to Ghana and implementing so much, doing so much good work so far as academics is concerned. And it was so symbolic. And again, there is so much in this state that we can take and put together and pick apart. We used to not be able to make calls apart from just direct call. Today, you and I are on WhatsApp. People are listening to us, to the call, because the world is growing. And Dr. Bawumia, you did not bring WhatsApp to Ghana. You didn't. Today, if Ghanaians can do video calls, it's because the world is growing. Now, to be calling these things an achievement of government, and again, this is an improvement from Dr. Bawumia, by the way. This is a guy who was touting toilet building. So, mentioning some of these natural growths is an achievement on his part. But again, it's mediocre. We are still in a country where flood is killing our people. Little flood and the whole of Accra is shut down. Little rain. And you are talking about digitization? Like, are you kidding me? Are you serious as a country? Are we serious as a country? It's so poor. And he missed it. And it's unfortunate that the likes of Patrick Ewa will not tell him that, look, what we were actually expecting you to come and say was A, B, C, D. But what you come and talked about was more of electronics. Because again, we all know that where Ghana was going to, and John Dramani Mahama, we were going to a point where the country will have one card, where that one card is good enough as your ID. That one card is good enough as your driving license. That one card is good enough as a voting card. Again, which is what is happening in many other countries. In the United States of America, for example, there is no voting card separately from driving license, separately from national card, separately. No, it is not. We have a card that is your national ID card, that is your driving license, that is the same card that is good enough for you to vote with. That is where countries are. And you are doing all of these things. Ghana today, in my wallet, I am a Ghanaian. In my wallet, I have my passport, my driving license, my health insurance card, my Ghana card, my social security card, and some few more cards. You cannot draw around a country like that. Digitization will mean that all of these units are now one. All of these units are now one. where I can be able to, you see, it's funny, but even back in the days, and I'm coming Nkrumah, one of the things that we have been able to achieve, that our social security number, if you give me your social security number now, all things being equal, I should be able to give you some amount of information. And many people don't know. But if you take your social security number, every Ghanaian, your date of birth is in your social security number. It is not that obvious, but it is there. If you give me your number, I can tell you your date of birth and your month and everything. It's in there. Now, we should get to a point where the SNIT number is the one number that we are using, and we are able to add a little bit more to it. So, for example, you are born in Greater Accra, and so the code, let's say 001 starts. You're born in Kolebu, let's say becomes 00012, and you are born on day so and so, and it is coded and integrated into it. So by the time you mention your number, people can be able to tell that, oh, this is a person who was born on so and so date, in so and so hospital, in so and so city, and so on and so forth. But up to today, we don't have that. So when you go to a place and they ask you, what is your driving license number? You don't know, because there are too many numbers for you to keep in your head. But if you ask me my social security number in the US, I can give it to you. Well, I will not give it on air. And I know it off head because it's just one number. If you are going to open a bank account, it is just that one number that you are required is required of you. Once that number is keyed in, every other data on you pops up. If you go to register a SIM card, that one number is all you need. So when you tell them that number, everything is keyed, everything is done. You don't have to go online and fill a form for voting, fill another form for health insurance, you don't continue to fill forms like that. You don't need to do that anywhere. If I call my bank right now, the only question they will ask me is, give me the last 4 digits of your social security card. Once I mention that and mention my date of birth, I'm done. They take you straight into my account. So it's a shame that Dr. Bawumia thinks that this is a celebration, that he will have to run a lap around the world because of the things that he was mentioning. And it is so pathetic. And you see the boasting, the pride, the jubilation in him that he is mentioning some of these things. And then we went to, of course, we all had it. We all knew birth and death registry had issues. And we were all growing up, coming as a country. Again, so now you may recall, I think it was under President Wallace or before that we changed our birth set from the very, very old one to the bigger one that was more pinkish looking. Ghana was growing. We were growing as a country. And so some of these things will happen. And nobody runs around and jumps. And at the NDC, we saw the mobile money things beginning to happen. And the NDC did not take a huge leap. Yes, we are the ones who were able to introduce. Oh, please. We need to grow up as a country. We need to get serious as a people and stop some of these jokes. Our people are hungry. Our people need security. Our people need safety. Our banks need to begin to do better. We need a physical address system, not a digital address system, because no country can grow on a digital address system. I'm saying again, no country can grow on a digital address system. It is only in Ghana, as a country, that your government asks you for your address instead of the government giving you the address. When you come to the US, the government gives you your address, not the other way around. UK, Holland, any other country, the government is the one who tells you your location and your address, not the other way around in Ghana as we are doing. It's a shame that we will continue to be taking some of these celebrations to public. But Dr. Bawumia needs to get back to the basis. He is the head of the economic management team, and we plead with him that it is because of his taste. What happened to Dr. Bawumia's drone? You see, he didn't even mention his drone. The drone that he claimed was going to save lives was going to carry people from. We see in Ghana today, women are still giving birth on the streets. Pregnant women are being lifted over a river. The same person who said I was bringing a drone that was solving every health problem in Ghana. You know, his penchant love for toys. Enough is enough. He needs to get to the books and begin to prove that he has some powers in him, as far as economics is concerned. I'm not surprised that the camp of Alan Chelemante are beginning to do advertisements or things that Alan Chelemante is a practical economist. Clearly, that is a shade throwing bombs to Bawumia, and he has a figment of his imaginations, and he has no clue of what economics is about. He touted himself is screamed. It is easy to sit down and read books and come and talk theory. But when CD is put in front of you and you are supposed to manage the CD, but Bawumia have realized that the kitchen is too hot, and so let me run to a more comfortable area, which is because a lot of Ghanaians are not educated. And so when I mention computer, they'll go like, yay. It was an Rollins that the first computer led by Mr. Klugeson was brought to Ghana from the typist. So, but the Rollins did not say that we brought computer to Ghana. No, that is not an achievement, dude. It's not.
Well, so, but as for the drone, I think the drone is not part of, because he said he was supposed to deliver address on digitalization, and I don't see how drones can fall under that category, can they?
Oh, indeed. So now, the point that digitalization comprises all of that. If I can use a drone to deliver medicine to you, that is digital. The fact that it is not, but by the way, how do you think that the drone is able to move from point A to point B? It's through the internet. It's through the internet. I have to configure the thing on my phone or on the computer, give the drone a location, a direct coordinates, give it coordinates for it to be able to land and be able to take off again. So that is completely digitization. The fact that in your car, the fact that you can just press a button and your car moves, that is digitized. So drones fall completely part of the electronic systems digitization, the loving of toys that Bawumia has become known for. So indeed, that is actually part of it. And I'm not surprised that he did not mention anything about it. If I don't have to move from Ridge Hospital physically to send blood to Kolebu, and I can just be able to, just send that via drone using my computerized system. Well, that is digital. That is completely digital.
Having said that, I know the infrastructure in Ghana is not the best. But you also admit that a lot of work was done under the John Dramani Mahama administration. The data center that was built, they tried doing sort of a fiber optic backbone. I don't know how the extent to which it extends in Ghana. But can those form the basis for a digitalization agenda that the vice president can lead?
But again, the fiber optic backbone, when did they start? We all saw in Accra when the digging was being done. It was clearly under the NDC government. We saw the digging that was done all over Accra, where pipeline, the tubes were being laid. We saw that. So what is the contribution Dr. Bawumia and the MPP government have made into to think that they deserve any credits of this work that has been done as a country?
So your problem is the gloating.
Yeah, exactly. Like you do not like. It's like so now you get home and your mother has just finished preparing beautiful dish, okay, and then you sit down and then your friends came and then they are like, oh, can we join you to eat? And they said, this food is nice, and they said, yes, oh, I'm such a great cook. No, you did not cook it. You may own it because somebody brought it to you, but you did not cook the food. The whole thing that has been done. No, our hospitals has been digitized. Why? Didn't we see the digitization of Ridge Hospital, the Kolebu Hospital, the Legon Hospital that was built? Didn't we see it digitized? Again, we've seen our bank. Again, so now, why? Didn't we see another Rollins? Banking system moved from a bank book to ATM card, and then they see the Rollins did not say that, come on, guys, remember, I was the one who moved you from bank notebook, where you remember those days, you bring your book, and then they cancel the old amount, and then you bring, and then you use a pencil to, and then you sign by it. The country, our country is growing, people. Our country is growing, and those things are all a proof that we are all growing as a people. Now, those things are just natural growth. Again, you remember the days where people were like, until Jerry Rollins came, you couldn't find Milo, Nido in our country, and people gave credits to him. Fabric was nowhere to be found. But the world is just growing naturally. Some of these things were going to come to Ghana by themselves. Now, for Dr. Bawumia to be touting some of these things as an achievement, talking about ECD. Oh, Jesus Christ. ECD. I'm so, you see, the problem is that people don't listen to Dr. Bawumia well. And then he smiled, and then he said in some few years, and then he left it there. ECD. And then once ECD comes, the whole thing about counterfeiting is not going to happen anymore and all of that. So now think about it for a second, okay? Think about it very carefully. ECD. Now, if you have money in your pocket, if you have physical cash in your pocket, is it still going to be in your ECD account? Okay, if it is not, then what is the difference between that and what is happening today? In a country where money, are you aware that MTN transacts more money transactions more than any bank in Ghana today? MTN does more money business in a day than any bank in Ghana today. That alone should tell you that as a country, we are failing in our economics. Why should a telephony company be the one to be transacting most of our financial transactions? Why should it be so? And that is the question that Dr. Bawumia needs to be asking himself and pushing to look, MTN is making more money in money transaction than any bank, than even phone calls. So where are we as a country? And that is purely digital, by the way. You take your physical money, take it to a merchant or take it to another umbrella MTN person, give your money to the person and tell the person that, hey, make this money into an ECD for me, make it into a digital money for me and put it on my phone. So the person takes your physical amount of money and convert it into an electronic money, and it is in your phone, or convert it into an electronic money, and then you send it to another friend of yours, or another family person of yours. The person, that is what is happening today in Ghana. Or you send me money, and then because the money is electronic, and I have it on my phone through text message, I walk to an umbrella and I say, hey, I have this electronic money. Can you convert it into a physical money and give it to me physically? The person said, yes, I can do that for you. But I'll charge you 10%. I'll charge you 5%. So they charge you, and then they give you that money physically. So we have been there. But again, Dr. Bawumia does not understand that. He thinks Momo is different from ECD. He thinks Momo is different from electronic money. And somebody needs to wake him up and tell him that, oh, Momo is the same thing. It is the same thing. You take your physical money and change it into electronic money. And so long as that electronic money is on your electronic account, a Momo account, it is electronic. You cannot give it to me physically. You can't use it physically to buy until you transfer it back into physical money. You can only use it to buy at a place where they also accept electronic money. That is already happening. And when did this whole thing start? Again, and at the end, I don't remember this one. E-Switch. When did E-Switch come to Ghana? E-Switch, I believe, was our first attempt at making this whole thing electronic, making our CD electronic. We've done that. Dr. Bawumia. We've done that. We've been doing that as a country long before now. Long before now. Hitherto, before then, it was just electronic transactions in between banks. So your bank can send electronic money to my bank and I can take it. Then there was little attempt by Ghana Post to do money transfer, within the country. And then we've seen all of those things, and then we are here today. So nothing new, nothing supernatural, nothing ingenious, nothing smart, but somehow Dr. Bawumia thinks that he needs to celebrate, and he's celebrating, and you can't blame him.
Well, thank you for speaking to us this morning.
Sana, you are welcome, and thank you very much, and greetings to our people.
And thank you for staying up, by the way. I'll send you one Ghana.
One more last thing. Dr. Bawumia said that they have built, and I will just leave this with the people of Ghana. Dr. Bawumia said they have built more factories, more than anybody, any government, under the one district, one factory system.
Yes.
So now, is it not the same MPP that told us that in their manifesto, which is true, And they never promised to build any factory.
Yes, they said so.
So, and by the way, one of my very good friends, I don't want to mention his name, he's into farming and they have built a factory. The MPP government have gone to beg him that allow us to put our one district, one factory signboard here for so and so and so. And the guy said, no, I'm not going to allow that. You put signboard on people's buildings. You are the same person who told us that you did not say you are going to build factories. You have never built any factory in Ghana, Dr. Bawumia. The fact that you can go and put your signboard onto Binko's building does not make it that it was an MPP achievement. Your achievement was the one. Yes, I'm listening.
I wanted to read what he said to you. Stimulating industrialization from the ground up through one district, one factory. And it says more factories have been set up than under any other government in the history of Ghana.
So now, again, that is the point. The MPP government and Dr. Bawumia should know that they have never set up any company. And indeed, there were more factories that were set up under President Kufuor, in Ghana, like by Ghanaians, more than under Jerry Rawlings within a specific time period. The same way, there were more children born under Bawumia's government than John Mohammed's government. That is just a natural growth of life. The more millionaires we have in Ghana today are more than the one before. Just natural. Today, the richest man in the world today, Elon Musk, has amassed more wealth under Biden than under Trump. Facts. Years before now, the richest man in the world had only $20 million. And it was amazing. It was unheard of. Today, Elon Musk has about $240 billion. Like, everything is going up. Everything is growing. And to tout some of these things as an achievement, it's just so shameful. It's so shambolic. And indeed, let me be clear, that digitization as we know it, digitization as one day Ghana will get to, not what the kind of things Dr. Mame is talking today. It provides an opportunity, especially for efficiency. Okay, where, for example, you go to a place where fufu is being pounded in a way that is better than just manual, where our kente is being weaved in a gotimekwe in a way that is not as happening today, kinate, where we have a system where we are able to do better as a country, where we have built enough roads that our movement from one location to the other is so fast, where we are at the point where I can be able to book an appointment at Kolebu and reach there and finish in 30 minutes, in 1 hour, where our economy is not losing so much because of the amount of money people use waiting, that we don't have to go to the banks to wait, we don't have to go to the hospital to wait, that we don't have to go into Trotro to sit down and just wait at one place. That is where you go to as a country. And when many of these people talk about digitization, that is the kind of things they are talking about. And you have a country where you reduce your manual way of doing things, the hardcore way of doing things, and you improve upon them. That is where we are getting to.
Okay.
But the kind of things that we're talking about is just unfortunate.